It's Halloween. All the goblins are out. They're taking over my keyboard. Let's see. I got a strike on that last Friday. So we'll let it go. We'll do it again. Glory! Let's get out of this madness. How are you? Hello, everybody. Madness. Mary is not going to be with us today. She got a house full of guests, popped in at the last minute. She's got to do dinner for them. She's frankly royally ticked off. But it's family. So what are you going to do? Well, let's see. ADHD is here. Scott Stankovich, T-Bone, Sunset Jen, Doob's World. Hello, hello. T-Bone, thank you, whoever did that. I appreciate it. Lori, T-Bone, Roman Sharok. Hey, Roman. C.W. McGowan, Patrick Paulson. Says, I get it, Father Fish. Water has feelings too. That's right. That's exactly right. And you miss that at your peril. Boots is here. Moon Boots. Who else? Patrick, Sunset, everybody. I got everybody. Scott Stankovich. I think I got Scott. All right. To the bottom. Back to the bottom. Lord, 50 people have come in now. Oh, let's see. ADHD says, Roman Chirac, I give you permission to use me as a scapegoat for your multiple tank syndrome. He was around before you were. Roman's been at this for a while. Because of you, I have a new aquarium in the kitchen, it says. Right. Poor Roman. He's got it bad. He's definitely got it. Roman has been one of the most creative fish keepers on the channel. He's been showing off over in Discord for a while. But he was one of the first to create a resurrection jar, qua, tub. He got a little refrigerator drawer and set up a resurrection jar in that. And it's now moved into an aquarium, and I think it's been divided. So it's kicked off a whole range of aquatic adventures. Let's see. T-Bone. Tam Shepard. Saying hello to everybody. What else? Hello. T-Bone, Tam Shepard. Yeah, we're running in circles here. Repeating everybody. The video I played at the beginning it's about 7 minutes long. Oh, look who's here. Roman! The video I played at the beginning.
Hello, Father Fish. Excuse me.
Hey! How are you?
I'm well, thanks. Happy Halloween.
Well, likewise, I'm sure.
Here's that new aquarium I have in the kitchen.
Oh, wow.
So I have something interesting to tell you about this. In the house here in Toronto, I keep the house around 70 degrees. And I set this tank up initially still water tank. I didn't want any bubbles or anything in it. So I just put a heater and a light. And my thermometer that's down here now was up at the top showing 82 degrees for my rams. And but when I stuck my hand in there to do some planting, I could feel it really cool down at the bottom. So I moved the thermometer down to the bottom, and it was showing 75 degrees.
Wow.
So that's a 7-degree difference in 12 inches of water.
Holy cow.
And I thought that was too much for those young rams. So I reluctantly put just a bubbler in there to move the water around, and now everything is homogeneously more or less temperature of about 80 degrees.
Well, it's amazing. It shows you the effect of thermocline, doesn't it? That's really interesting.
And what else was I going to say about this? Well, I think that's about everything I wanted to say. I've really enjoyed this. These are locally bred rams, and the breeder says he breeds them at about 80 degrees, so I don't need to get it up to any higher. He says they're used to this temperature. So it's been and these water lettuce I brought in from outdoors recently. That's why they still have the nice long roots on them.
Yeah.
So happy Halloween to everybody, and ADHD, you're my scapegoat. Okay, bye everybody. Take care.
Funny. Take care, Roman. Thank you. Very nice. Who was that said? What was the comment? Doob's World. Doob's saying, "What's on the agenda tonight?" You are, Doob's, but this is a chat night where we run the format by the chat. By the way, I had a chance. I'm going to unplug this and take that off so I can hear myself like I'm not in an echo chamber. I had a chance to watch video today, one of my videos about parasites. It's about 10 minutes long. And I'll tell you what, that may be the best video I've ever done in terms of content, quality of production, just the whole thing. I think it's got 300 visits. I mean, it's insane what the algorithm has done to this channel. We do not get more than 300 views per video based on the algorithm sending our video out to 300 people. We're at virtually 100% viewership based on how much goes out. But it is so limited. Of the 10,000 subscribers we have, only 300 ever get to see a video that we produce. That's how fundamentally corrupt the algorithm really is. Here's somebody I've been trying to call and wanted to talk to. Shelby, what are we? Oh, look at this.
Happy Halloween.
Ain't she amazing?
I'm really busy with the kids right now, but I just wanted to pop by and say hi as Monsieur's stream.
Oh, that is so cool.
So I wanted to wish everybody happy Halloween.
I want to talk to you later. I want to talk to you later.
Okay, I'll catch you on the replay and see you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, isn't that terrific? Gotta be one of the most creative people we've got on the channel. She is astounding. It's just amazing what this woman is able to do. And there's a good example. She's got 2 teenage kids, 12 and 13, and she's doing Halloween for them, dressed up as a shrimp, would you believe? And it's delightful. Oh, that was terrific. All right, getting down. Let's see. ADHD says I got a spotted green puffer today. Yeah, I've got a couple of them here, and a Colombian shark. Didn't know they were brackish, but I guess we're setting up a brackish tank. Very hard water will do. It doesn't have to be brackish. It can be hard water, and that amounts to the same thing. There's really no effective difference between hard water and so-called brackish. So, and I know you have very hard water out there, so that's really not going to be a problem. You probably won't need to do anything special. Jameis. Hello, Jameis. Nice to see you. Tam Shepard. Hi, Tam. Running in circles, Tam says. Good thing you're keeping up with that cardio. I'm doing pretty well with it, actually. I'm not losing weight, which is a great disappointment to me. But I am so much stronger than I have. Oh, boy. So much stronger than I have been. I think if I can start losing weight, I'm just going to be a whole lot better off. Thermocline in the tank, Scott's talking about. Yeah, thermoclines are natural phenomena in any body of water. In a pond or a very still body of water where there's no flow, there will be a gradation. Any of you have ever gone swimming in a pond or a lake know what I mean. It's hot on the top, and you get down about 5 or 6 feet, and it's cold. That's a thermocline, and they grade to a certain extent. Now, what Roman found in his tank with no circulation was that the water thermocline, the heat stayed at the top. His ambient temperature in the room was cold enough to keep the water at the bottom substantially cooler, about 75. So the heat was rising to the top. That's what happens in water. Heat rises to the top. So it was warmer on top than on the bottom. The only time you will find water warmer on the bottom than it is on the top is if the ambient temperature of the air is very cold, like below freezing cold. Then the water deeper down will be the temperature of the earth, or about 62 degrees. So you'll get that kind of a reverse thermocline in winter. It can happen in a heavy rainstorm in the summer where the rain brings cooler water onto the surface, and it'll be warmer below that. But thermoclines in open water, like in the sea, are mixed to a certain extent, but they persist. And the way they persist is in currents, major massive currents that flow around the globe will essentially rub up against each other, and at that point where they're passing each other, they don't necessarily mix, or not very much, and they'll maintain distinctly different water quality and water conditions and temperature than they would if the water stopped moving and they just mixed together. So it's all very interesting stuff. Thermocline in a tank. Something to consider and to keep in mind. Excuse me, I've got my chair caught on a pillow here. I see rams. Yes, he had some gorgeous rams in there. Local bred rams. Rams are another fish that we're having a lot of trouble with. And by we, I mean everybody. I used to be able to get rams consistently and dependably from a local breeder through my wholesaler. Now, my wholesaler was under new ownership, is buying price point, which means they're paying the lowest possible amount they can for a fish. So they're getting their rams now from the Far East. Now, the ram is not natural to the Far East, so they had to be imported. And they're being bred in very substantial quantities. And the genetics are such that now, after about 25 years of that kind of activity, without replenishing the original stock with new genetic material, the quality of the fish, the genetic quality of the fish, has reached a point of no return, to such an extent that one should not expect these fish to live more than a few months. The same thing is true with bettas, many of the bettas. Many of the bettas we're getting, in fact, most of the bettas, in fact, virtually all of the bettas that we buy in a store, in a pet shop, or in a big box store, are bred by the millions in Eastern countries, in what's that called, the Gold Coast, Vietnam, Sri Lanka, Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, the Philippines. I think mostly Thailand and Cambodia, not Vietnam, and the Philippines. The bettas, the rams, goldfish are unique from this because there's enough stock in the Far East, in China, Japan, and the rim countries, to be able to maintain a diverse genetic mix. That's not true for the African imports or the South American imports. They're being bred without genetic mix, and it's failing to the point where it's becoming extremely difficult to keep these fish alive for more than a very brief period of time. T-Bone has just graced us with a $5 super chat. That love that giant fish sitting on top of your tank. That's Nemo. Nemo was from the shop. Nemo greeted all the little children who came into the shop. Between Nemo and Tom, there's Tom. Nemo and Tom greeted everyone. And the little kids would pick up Nemo and walk around the shop with him. They had to return him. They had to leave him in the store where he lived when they left. John Sua, hello, hello. U.S. Scaper. Father fish is like the grandpa I never had. Well, happy to do that, U.S. Scaper. Happy to do it. John Sua. Tom Shepard. Thank you, T-Bone, for the $5 super chat. I appreciate that very much. ADHD, Father Fish. They had redworm. They finally stopped dying once I figured it out. I got levamistil. Ringworm. Redworm? Wait, ringworm. ADHD. Huh. Greatest ever. David Patton. Hello, David Patton. Ames. Ames Mason Spirit Fish. ADHD. Father Fish. I kept buying and killing bettas. They refused to sell to me until I gave them a water sample. I said I have 65 tanks. You want 65 water samples? These fish are weak. Yeah, they are. They are impossibly weak. I think what we really need to do, and it's happening here especially on YouTube. We have breeders on YouTube who are selling to YouTubers. These are people who are vitally concerned about the quality of their product, producing good quality product, and are able to sell to other YouTubers fish that survive. ADHD is with us. Let's get ADHD. What you got there?
Hey, you guys.
Hi, what are we looking at?
He was just here a second ago. There he is. Green spotted puffer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so this tank actually, well, the plants are pearling if you can see it. It's pretty neat. But
I do, yeah.
this is the only tank I can get consistent pearling in, and it's super overgrown. But there's a bunch of baby snails in here. And so I figured I can put him in here until he puts on some size. And then he can go live with Datnoid once he's a little bigger.
Oh, nice.
There he is. See him?
Yeah, the ram's horn's in there. Oh, there he is. Sure enough, we'll spot it. Yeah, I've got one. I've got one here too. I'll show you. I'll show you mine. You show me yours. I'll show you mine.
Do you think he's gonna make himself sick by eating too many snails? Because as soon as I put him in here,
No, he will not. There's
okay, I
one.
was worried.
That'll be fine. There's.
Oh, he's too fat. He got stuck behind the sponge filter.
Uh-oh. My browser lost connection to my camera. Certainly did.
We got new tank mates for our Datnoid. We got a Pacu, a baby Pacu.
Oh, nice.
And there's Datnoid. There's Geralt. He came out.
Carry on a minute. I've got to jump off and fix my camera. I just went dead.
And then here's Starry Night African cichlids. They're supposed to get 10 to 12 inches, and I hope that I have a male and a female here. In the store, one of them was darker than the other. They still haven't colored up completely because they're stressed out, but the one on the right, the larger one, he was like full on black. And then the one on the left was like more like a brownish. So I'm hoping they color up here soon and that I have a male and a female. Because I'd love to be able to spawn them, but we'll see what happens. They're pretty cute when they get older. And this is an albino Pacu. A red belly, I think. No, not red belly, red fin. So I'm pretty excited to see that. And then Geralt is well fed. I've been feeding him krill and live guppies. I don't think his eyes are cloudy. I don't know. He tried to take a bite of the Pacu. I think he nipped his tail, but then I think he realized the Pacu was just slightly too big for him, so he gave up. But it's really nice to see him out and about. He's got a couple pleco friends. There he goes. He's probably going to his, right into his ABS pipe. So if you guys aren't familiar with like plum and fittings, this is ABS. It's like PVC. It's just black and it's used for drains. So like sewer drains and stuff. So it's just made of something else. He likes it. You might be able to see him just barely. But we got a Colombian shark, which secretly it's not a shark, it's a catfish. And
Right.
this catfish is hanging out near the top of the water more than I've ever seen any catfish do.
Huh.
But I'm thinking I might have to change the substrate in here to some sort of sand or something. Maybe I'll add like 2 inches of sand
Yeah,
because
just put sand on top of it. That's
yeah,
really all you need to do. It'll be
I'm just gonna add it.
better. It'll work out
Yeah.
a lot better if you do. Yeah, that's great.
Especially with these guys. I don't know if they're gonna want to dig in the sand, but
Right.
I'm not like a cichlid person. I'm just assuming they're gonna want to start digging.
Ames is here with
Hey.
with a blue tank. Look at this. Is this a salt tank? What are we looking at?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, nice.
My question is about
Let
Yes.
me see
hair
it.
algae.
Oh, there it is.
Hold on a minute. We're talking to Ames. Yeah, go ahead.
Do you see the hair algae?
Yeah, let me bring it up. No, I don't. Yes, I do.
What?
So you're concerned about that?
Yeah.
Hair algae. What do you have in there that'll eat it?
Nothing.
Can you get some
I just have 2 clowns in here. No, there's no coral.
snails and hermit crabs? Also shrimp. Can you get snails, like snails and hermit crabs? Can you get snails and hermit crabs?
Yeah, I just need to know what kind of snails.
Well, saltwater snails. Turbos.
Turbos?
Yeah, turbos. Yeah. And hermits. Is that your cat?
My white lizards are turning white.
Nice.
Here, a kitty cat.
I have a couple snails in here, just like 100. Thank you. Fatherfish leaves.
I don't know where Fatherfish is. I'm just hanging out. I don't know what's going on. Oh, there's Fatherfish.
Right. Hi there. What are these, embellis?
Yeah, I had a very large male down in another tank, but I think these are big enough now that he can come live with the rest of them.
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah. That's all. Oh, I got dojo loaches too. I got 5 albino dojo loaches. That's what I was doing the water change on before I came on. But that's it.
Very good.
Alrighty. Let me see. I don't know how to get out of here. Okay. Bye, you guys.
Bye-bye. Doob's the world. Hello, hello. Let's see. Let me go back. I gotta get back a little bit. I got lost. My camera wouldn't come back on. So I had to completely go off and come back. Christopher Ramis and Armazon. Yeah, Jameis. Doob's World. Hello, hello. Plans for tonight. You are the plan for tonight, Doobs. We're doing open stream. Mary is not able to be here tonight. She had family come in at the last minute and demand to be fed. So she's feeding family. Let's see. Let me get back up here a little bit. Oh, ADHD said, Roman, I give you permission to use me as a scapegoat for your multiple tank syndrome. And thank you, T-Bone. Sunset Jan. Doob's World, T-Bone, Scott, ADHD Roman, Tam Shepard, Scott Stankovich, Ian Jameis. Hello, Ian. Nice to see you. Mary's not here today. She contacted me about 45 minutes before the show started. She got a whole bunch of family piled in on her and demanded to be fed, and said that they were more important than we were. And I tend to agree with her. You know, family comes first. So that's where she is. Damn Shepherd running in circles. Good thing you're keeping up with the cardio. I'm doing pretty well. I do 3 days a week, about an hour each. And I've got more stamina and more strength. What I have not been able to do is lose any weight. So I'm kind of distraught about that. But I don't know. I just have to get control of what I'm eating, I guess. I guess. Let's see. U.S. Scaper coming in from Aquamalik. Good man, Aquamalik. Rowan is asking Tam if she's showing Bolivian rams. I missed that. Spam that like button. Auto Aquatic Gallery for stuff. Ames, Mason Spiritfish. Crowntail Half Moon. One of my favorites. Could you recommend a cheap light for planted tanks? Love your channel. Excellent information, sir. Cheap light for planted tanks. I have almost exclusively 4-foot tubes. These are LED, 4-foot LED fluorescents. They run about $7 a piece. Where do I buy them? I think I buy them online. Yeah, I do. I buy them online. I'll put the link up for them. I don't buy smaller lights. I just use these and kind of make them fit. But I've got them on everything. Two of them does an adequate job with a 55. So you get they're about 50 watts each. So it's about 100 watts on a 55. You can do more. They're cheap enough to be able to gang them together. I use masking tape to tape them together. Holds them together better, and it cuts the glare. That's about all I use, really. I don't have much else here. I've got, I don't know, I've got a few LED boards, but really that's about it. The 4-foot LED strips. They're cheap. If they burn out, you can throw them away and get another one. They cost less than $10 a piece. If you put two of them on a 55, you're going to get pretty good light. There's two on a 30 as an example. There's two on a 30D. for more light, you add more. 3 or 4 will give you, 200 watts on a 55. ADHD. Can't slow myself down. I tried so hard to be calm when I was live with Father Fish. You did fine, ADHD. You did just fine. I appreciate you. Ground Tail Half Moon, hello. Ames Mason, Spirit Fish. Tam Shepherd is inviting people to join Discord and continue the conversation. The Discord channel is amazing. We have over 600 people registered on it. At any one point in time, it's about 100 people. We've got a dozen or more channels on all kinds of topics. We have an organizational structure that allows you to take on more responsibility for maintaining the channel. We've got levels of expertise that are really excellent. It's amazing what's happening there. Just really amazing. And we do live videos like this, only everybody's on. So it's a real conversation. And I think that's the thing that makes it so powerful, is that it really is a conversation between people. So come on over and join. Tam just posted the link. Click on that. You can get over there and sign up and join in the fun. Sunset Jen. Talking about not little spots, but patches. Water temp dropped a few degrees overall, but I was thinking of fluctuations. Let's see what she's referring to. David Patton is saying, talking to Ames, hermit crabs, turbo snails, and cleaner shrimp. Correct. Hermit crab, turbo snails, and cleaner shrimp. Right. ADHD. Snails, shrimp, and crabs. I missed it, I guess. Let me jump to the bottom. Let's see. Sunset Jen. I use fly screen blue tack to tank to cover openings and keep mine in after it climbed out. I'm totally lost. I like the photo sharing thread so far. I'm a visual person. ADHD. Yeah, that is nice, isn't it? Talking about the Discord channel. Can I share the link for the lights? I'll have to dig it out. Let's see if I can find it. Amazon Prime returns and orders. I don't know what this is called. 4-foot strip LED. Let's see if that brings it up. Yep, here we go. All right, let me, I can do this, I think. There it is. Nope, what happened? There it is. $43.99 for a pack of 6. So that's like $7.50 a piece. They're LED. You can gang them together, so you can string as many as you want on one. They have a switch on them. You get them wet and they're ruined. So you don't want to get them wet. But I use masking tape to tape them together. I use a roll of masking tape to tape them together. It holds them in place. It hides the light from glaring out. I've got some glare up here, but that's because the water level is low. If the water level were up, there'd be no glare. So neat light. I've been using them at least 5 years. Now, they were not LED originally. They were fluorescent, T5, I guess. And then they converted to LED, and they're wonderful. They're cheap. They're great light. If you need more, you just gang them together. They only come in one size, I think. I've only really tried to find them in one size because I use them that way. I've got them on pretty much everything. Pretty much. And I used them extensively at the shop as my big LED systems burned out over the years. I'd replace them with these and just set them on top of the tank in a long, you can tie them together. They have a fixture, a pin that ties them together tight. Also wires, so you can wire them together, but the pin's great because it locks them together. And you can run a whole string of them on one plug. Petrol man means a guy who delivers petroleum or works on an oil rig. What are you talking about, petrol man? All right, John Sewa. Yeah, I don't know, maybe. Petroman abolished aquatics this year. Cheers, my fellow fish nerds. Nice to have you with us. We're going to turn you blue. Join the party. ADHD, I need that link. That's what's going to light my fish room. This is the solution I've been shopping for lights for weeks. Let me post the link for you. It's in Amazon. It's called a 4-foot strip LED. I can give you the link. Oh, Petroman was a Navy CV sniper back in 78, 86. Bravo. Petro, not petrol, right? Petro. Petroman the puffer, ADHD says. Yeah, they're wonderful for lighting the fish room. And you can double up if you want more light. So it works really well. And that's exactly what I did. I mounted them. I think you can get snap-in mounts for them. Check and see if they're not listed. I believe they are. It's a Navy term, Petroman says. Pugsley. Moonboot saying Pugsley is here. Hello, Moonboots. Didn't see Pugsley. People are coming in, sneaking in the back door, I think. Craig Doniger. Craig's Catfish Cave. Hello. David Patton. Hi, David. So Tim Shepherd, Sunset Jen. Sunset says, I had no power for 30 hours. Reheated tank water and pot on stove. One tank with neons and endlers. Have white patches now. Well, what you have is a bacterial infection that's creating dead flesh that the fungus is growing on. So you need to treat the underlying bacteria. So think of it that way. You have a bacterial infection, and they're on neons and endlers. God, tiny fish. That's really rough. Hard to pull that back. Kick, boo, boo, boo. Salt. Put a tablespoon of salt per 5 gallons. You can double it in day 2, or put half again. Put a teaspoon day 2, tablespoon day 1, teaspoon day 2. That's going to slow the metabolism of the fish down enough to get control of the bacteria. You treat the bacteria. You can treat it with any of the dyes, acroflavin, methylene blue, malachite green. Any of them work fine on bacteria. You can also get a bactericide. If you want to spend the money, go to your local pet shop and ask for a bactericide. You can use that as well, but it's a gram probably positive bacteria. Erythromycin will probably work on it. You want to treat it though. You want to treat it right away. Don't let it go, because it'll wipe everything out. It does not help to increase the temperature. In fact, it hurts. So you want to leave the temperature where it is, or even drop it a little. If you got a heater in there, turn it down, and add salt. That slows the metabolism down, which is going to keep the fish alive a little longer. And then, but that doesn't cure the problem. All that does is give the fish kind of a second breath. You've got to get rid of the bacterial infection. You can buy a fungicide, but it's actually a bactericide. Getting rid of fungus is meaningless. Fungus is not the problem. Fungus does not eat live flesh. Bacteria does. And then the fungus grows on what the bacteria kills. So you got to treat the bacteria. Try those. You can use peroxide, but it is very intense, and you have to use it very carefully. And I'm not sure the dosage, frankly. You can do a drop per gallon. That should be nowhere near enough. A drop per gallon. After a few hours, do another drop per gallon. Beyond that, I would look it up, see if you can get some online information. There's not a lot out there. It is enormously effective, but it's also very, very dangerous because it depletes oxygen from the water. So you want to be very, very careful with it. You can dip them, depending on what you're dipping them into. If you want to do a very heavy acroflavin, methylene blue, or malachite green, very intense compound of it, and dip them quickly kind of in and out. That will also cause the fungus to drop off. So you'll be able to see and treat that bacterial infection. A couple of things you can do. But whatever you do, get on it right away. Don't let it go another minute. You got to deal with it immediately. They're tiny fish. They're not going to hold up even a day with that problem. ADHD, says Tam Shepard. My name is Littlefoot 3717. Cute. Littlefoot 3717. She's saying I need a name for a new puffer fish. Need a name that starts with P. Spot or Petey, Tam says. Pufferino, John Sewis says. David Patton says Craig. I think he's talking about something else. Not Pete. Not Pete. Petey. Craig Doniger. Let's see. Pufferino. She likes that. Petraman. There you go. Petraman is nice, she says. That's good. That's very good. Groundtail Half Moon. Hi. Are scud destructive to Madagascar plants? I don't think so. Let me see what I can find out, but I don't think that scuds are destructive of any plants. Let's see, monogranate plants. What are these? Oh, it's a myrophilium. Mirio. No, they're not. Scud are not going to chew up your Mirio. Prove me wrong. Petro, Pugsley, there you go. Abolished Aquatics. Hello. Nice to see you. We got you as a moderator. Did you come in earlier? You're white. And yet you're showing that you are a moderator. Losing it. What does Petroman mean? Well, you're going to have to tell you. It's a Navy term, he says. It means a guy who's delivers petroleum or works on an oil rig. That's John Sewa. We'll have to get it from Petroman. ADHD. I need that link. Yeah, did I post it? I thought I posted it. I think I did, didn't I? I did. There it is. Is that it? I think that was it. Petroman was a Navy CB sniper, 78 to 86. Elizabeth, Florida Fish Rescue. Hello. Nice to see you. Good to have you with us. Let's see. Craig says my phone died. At least 50. What, T-Bone? Wait. This is supposed to be chat driven. I think it is, but I'm not keeping up very well. How am I doing? Ray, how are you, Ray? Ray Aquatics. I'm doing okay. I'm hanging in there, keeping it going. If you're going to set up a scud tank, how would you do it? Do it with substrate. Do it with substrate plants, lots of mulch. You can dump mulch into it. You can also add lettuce. That'll deteriorate. You might boil the lettuce a little first just to get it more broken down. Generally speaking, scuds are pretty easy to raise. They'll eat about anything. The spinach works, spirulina works, fish food works for that matter. You can do gravel. A lot of yours are gravel. I would do sand, mainly because with sand you get a better balance. You can actually create a more balanced tank with a deep sand bed, at least 2 inches. If you got gravel, add some sand to the top of it, and then give them mulch. Siphon mulch out of some other tanks, throw it in there. feed some pieces of lettuce, spirulina I mentioned. Another way to do it here in Utah, you can't put it outside in the winter because it'll just slow them down. But give them some sunlight and some algae growing. They'll eat single-celled algae as well. Scuds. What else do they eat? Anything. They'll eat fish food. They're pretty good size. I mean, they're like a quarter of an inch. What would you do if you had to start over to grow your audience? Oh, here, that's really good, you escaper. With the knowledge you have now, what would you do if you had to start over to grow your audience to 10K faster? Wow. I tell you, I think the truth is that the algorithm is much, much harder today than it was when I started just 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I could put out a video, and if it was a good video, I could get, and this is within the first few months, a good video would get a few thousand views. As recently as a year ago, I was averaging 5,000 views per video. I'm now averaging 300. That's how much the algorithm has tightened up. Now, I think in part I'm being shadow banned. And I've got some theories about that. I don't know for sure. I do know that YouTubers who have very large channels have authority with YouTube staff. I'm not going to say any more beyond that because I can't say it with real knowledge. Dube's World. If I can make the father of fish giggle, it's got to be with a sub. Love the channel. All hail the father. Thank you, Dube's World. I love you, man. 449 super chat. Appreciate it. Crown Tail Half Moon. Let's see. Alec the Nice. I definitely wouldn't use a net. It would strip the slime coat. If the water in the tank is good and don't mind, add in the breeding tank, creating a large plastic clear bag and use that like a net. Don't know what he's referring to, but that is excellent, excellent wisdom. Am I coming to the next meeting at Taxu? You know, I really need to, and it's coming up next week, isn't it? Yeah, Lucas is going to be there, and I need to be there to visit with him. Let me talk to that's a Saturday. Is that this coming Saturday? Ray, let me know what that date is. I'll try to get hold of Bill and a few others. See if we can carpool up. Very much would like to do that. I'm not answering this question of what you would do if you had to start over. I think it's gotten a whole lot harder. A whole lot harder. There was a point a year ago where I was averaging 20 to 30 subscribers a day. I'm now averaging 2 to 3. And I don't really think I've changed anything. Not much. I've gotten a little disheartened, frankly. And I've not put near the effort into making videos that I did because there are only a few hundred people going to see it. Of the 10,000 subscribers I have, YouTube only pushes it out to a few hundred. That's all who ever know I'm out there, unless they go looking for me. I'm doing pretty good, Ray. How are you doing? Give me the dates on that. I want to make sure I get up there. I assume it's a Saturday. To do. Let's see. I want to know. Crown Tail's talking to Alec the Nice. I want to get back to that. Been wanting to move 2 big discus to a spawning tank. Would you'll hand catch them? I would never hand catch discus, particularly since they're big. The chance of them flopping out is too great. And the recommendation, who was it who said that? ADHD is saying catch them with a bag. That's really the best advice. A big bag, they'll swim right into it. You pick it up, carry them over, release it, put the bag in the water, don't dump it, let them swim right out. They'll never know the difference. They'll wonder how they got there. They may. That's certainly the most gentle way to move them. Use a big bag and don't drop it. For God's sake, don't drop it. Are scud destructive to myriophylium? Monograssets. Losing its needles? I don't think so. If it's losing its needles, there's another problem. You might check your water parameters and see what the water conditions are like. Mirio will lose its leaves if it doesn't like the water. You want to make sure the water is hard and alkaline. That'll give it the best benefit for iron. If you can't keep it, you need to find a tank it'll live in and then try to figure out what the difference is. Typically, it's water quality. No, it's not scuds doing that. I'm certain of that. Prove me wrong. Pikachu Puff. Pikachu Puff, that's cute. Scott Stankovich, Pikachu Puff. T-Bone asking Craig how many Acaras he got. Sunset Jen. Bacterial problem. Temp down, treat salt. Water changes, how much daily? Water changes, good question. For a bacterial infection, assuming that the problem is caused by dirty water, which is a pretty good assumption, it would be advisable to take the affected fish out of the tank and put them in a brand new tank. When you do that, you absolutely never feed those fish because you're going to create an ammonia problem and a bacterial problem that'll be worse than what you started with. So if you're going to take them out, by all means do so. Put them in clean, clear water, no bottom, sponge filter if you want, no food, a little bit of salt, and then you can medicate as need be. Methylene blue is a good medication for bacteria. It works just fine. If you want to use an antibacterial bactericide, go to the store and buy one. I have even treated topically with little tiny fish. You can't do that. You've got to treat the water and hope for the best. That's about it for bacterial infection. H2O2, 1 drop per gallon. Yeah, you can do more than a drop per gallon. Do a drop per gallon and then double it in 6 hours. 3%. Right, good point. 3% H2O2 peroxide, not 50%. You can buy 50% peroxide. You don't want to do that. A drop per gallon is not really enough to make a difference. What you can do is double it every couple of hours. Not that's wrong. Add an extra drop every couple of hours until you begin to see a difference. That way you're gradually increasing the ratio of H2O2 to O2, which has the effect of oxidizing the bacteria if it's a bacterial infection. And don't be afraid to use it. It's pretty mild. I use it like anything else. Use it very gently and very carefully. And if it doesn't work in whatever block of time you want to use as your test, then add either double it or add 50% more. If it's something you're condensed, you're underdosing, double it. And then add another single drop in that, whatever the third block of time, whether it's an hour or 4 hours or whatever. Oh, yeah, Tam's talking about her electric blue Acaras, about an inch long. She's done so well with them. Just really amazing. Oops, Craig's phone died. Let's see. If you were going to set up a scud tank, and we did that, didn't we? How would you do it? Any tips for culturing green water? Yeah, grow green water outside. Put it in, if you can get one of those 5-gallon jugs with a small mouth, and then put cotton in it, put some leaves or something else in it, fish food, a dead bug, anything that's going to provide nutrition as it deteriorates. A starter culture is good if you got a starter culture. If you don't, it'll turn green, but it might take a while to do it. You can do it winter or summer. It'll grow in the winter. The best way to do it is outdoors where it's going to get direct sunlight. That really is the best way to grow green water. The most dependable way. But you got to have nutrition in there or it won't do anything. Mulm. Put some mulm in the bottom of it. That'll work real well. You escaper with the knowledge you have. Oh, yeah. Growing to 10K. I wish I had some good advice. I'm at this point, frankly, overwhelmed by the changes that they made to the algorithm. As recently as last February to March, I was averaging between 2,000 and 5,000 views in 24 hours on new videos. I'm averaging 300 or less today, and I've got 3,000 more subscribers than I had then. So you tell me. Let's see. Crowntail Half Moon saying to Alec the Nice, I definitely won't use a net. It'll strip the slime coat. If the water tank is good and don't mind adding into a breeder, he's talking about a big clear plastic bag. Absolutely right. Absolutely. All the same system. Doom's World. Doom's World's got a 449 super chat here, which I need to find. I can't find. Glory. There it is, right there. And he says, Father Fish, I can make the Father Fish giggle. It's got to be with a sub. Love the channel. All hail. Didn't we see this before? I'm losing my mind, I think. Are you coming to the next meeting at Pascha? I did see it. Right. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm just befuddled here. Let me get to the bottom. Crowntail Half Moon, Father Fish gave me advice for my brine shrimp tank that has helped me a lot. Terrific. What is it? EDH Aquatics. It's about a little, talking about a pond, 2 to 3 gallon pond heated. David Ramsey has videos on raising brine shrimp to adult size. Oh, great. Excellent. I need to post that link. Let me get it. Open it in another thread. Dooby-doo. All right. Roundtail halfbone. Father Fish, do you have any experience raising brine shrimp to adult? Could green water be used as food source, or do you need seed green water? If you got green water growing in sand, growing in salt water, that's perfect. That's adequate. The first time I knew of anybody who did this, they grew the brine shrimp out in a barrel with an air stone in it, and they used vitamin capsules, dog vitamin capsules. They opened the capsule and put the vitamins in. You can use yeast. You can use any kind of micro food. Any of the micro algae will work. Spirulina works. You can feed them, in other words, dead stuff. It's better to raise them in direct sunlight, where you can get a good algae culture growing, because that's their favored food. It's what they eat in the wild, and it's going to be the one that does better with them. So we'll follow Ramsey's video and see what he says about it. Why is she talking about thicker? ADHD talking to you, escaper. Curtis M. Found Father Fish looking up dirt in tanks. Try to learn as much as I can. Bravo. Need to turn you blue, Curtis. Thank you for that. U.S. Scapers got 13 to 14 bikers. Apparently ADHD has a weak sea biker, the fattiest weak sea biker. I had a friend who bred them, spawned bikers. They spawned at about 18 inches, and they egg scattered. I don't think he hatched any. He may not have had a male. I don't know, and I just saw it for a minute. Oh, Rachel Illyria's bred them. Do I have any tips? Well, they got to be big. They get big. They don't stay 6 inches. They get to a foot and a half. And they are open water spawners. So, they're egg scatterer, open water. They don't build a nest. They just swim alongside each other. The male fertilizing the eggs as she releases them, and they float off. They don't float; they stay on the bottom. They're heavier than water, and they're not sticky. They actually are. They can kind of float around, and they'll drop into little crevices and whatnot. I don't know anybody who's really been able to do it commercially. It kind of happens when it happens. Didn't know Rachel did that. That's pretty cool. Hope she's got a video of it. So for me, ADHD says Father Fish, maybe your success comes from being genuine, which means there's hope for me because I'm not very good at video editing. I don't edit at all. I virtually never edited. I've never cut and spliced a video. I have the video I mentioned at the beginning here, the one on parasites. I used more video effect on that than I have. I called up pictures and got some graphics and whatnot. But the thing that was nice about that one was I told a humorous story. In the middle of it, I cited interesting scientific research, talked about the implications for your tank, did a little comedy routine about some guy overfeeding his fish, and then came back to the theme of biodiversity, increasing biodiversity. I think, a really very strong video, a video that's worth 1 million views. It's a video everyone who keeps fish should look at. 300 people have seen it in the 2 months that it's been out. If I had put that video out last December, it would now have 15 to 20,000 views. I don't know what's happened, frankly, but I think, truthfully, I think YouTube has abandoned the small creator and focused their attention, money, resources, algorithm, and the like on the big creators because they make more money in them. More people view their videos, they do better with them. I think they're really trying to drive the small creator out off the channel, which means that we really need to be looking at other options. There are other options. The Discord is something I've been doing. I haven't figured out, or only had one conversation about monetizing it. The trouble with doing that is it means fees. Just like Patreon. Patreon's another one. Here's 3G. What you got to say for yourself? Look at this.
Oh, I just wanted to come up and say hi this evening to you.
Good to see you.
How we doing?
That's a beautiful tank.
Thank you, sir.
Beautiful tank. I think I saw this tank last week, didn't I?
Yes, sir. I've shown it to you a couple of times. I didn't have nothing new. I did have something new I wanted to ask you about.
Sure.
This plant right here in the center.
Yeah, what about it?
What is it? I found it at my pet store, and they couldn't tell me what it was. All they could do was charge me for it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just looking.
It's on like a coconut mat. Coconut fiber.
Mat. Okay, so is it a fern, do you think? It looks like it could be a fern.
Father fish, to be honest with you, it had such big leaves on it. I've never seen.
Let's see if anybody's saying anything here. No, it's not Anubias.
No, I do know that. It's not Anubias.
Craig says Cophelia. Broadleaf Java. Broadleaf Java, is that possible? Is that possible it's a Java fern? It doesn't look like it.
It doesn't look like it to me. Now, I'm not that good with plant types, but
Carolyn says she has one. She thought it was an Anubias. Said it grows very slowly. I mean, I don't think it's Anubias, but
it's like three.
It
It looks like little bulbs that are attached to that coconut mat.
Huh.
They're kind of like sewn down on it.
Yeah, Dube's saying it's an epiphyte. I agree with that. I think it's an epiphyte.
Epiphyte.
That's pretty odd, like a Java fern.
I'll be. Well, they're going
like a fern. It really looks like some kind of fern.
They're going to eventually come off of the mat and go along this log.
That should be cool.
I'm gonna eventually glue them along there. And
when you glue them, be careful doing it. Use a minimal amount and only put it on a nub. Don't put it on the whole root because it'll burn the root.
Oh, goodness. Okay, would it be better to use fishing line or something like that maybe to tie it down?
Yeah, I would.
I have some green fishing line I could use.
Yeah, I would.
Let me ask you this. One more thing too. This Appontageton.
Appontageton, yes.
Appontageton. It is throwing off these runners up to the surface and they're blooming, will that create a bulb, or will that
Only
um,
only if it gets fertilized. And I don't know anything about fertilizing them. There's got to be a gametophyte to unless it produces both in the same bloom. Some
I think
things-
it does. It has two parts that raise up out of the water and bloom.
I've seen them bloom. I've never had them do anything. If you can get in there, and there may be spermatozoa on a spike that needs to fall down into the bottom of it. You could try playing with it a little bit. I don't have any good advice for you because I've never been able to do it.
Yeah, I was just thinking it would be nice if that was, if you could propagate them and make more that way.
Yeah.
I love those plants.
The bulb will grow a new bulb.
Oh, it will.
It will, yeah. It takes about 2 years,
Okay.
but it'll grow. It'll grow an attached bulb that will, once it starts growing a plant, you can detach because it'll have a separate root system. They're wonderful plants. I love them. Bulbitis, Terry's tropical. Is saying Bulbitis heteroclita. Maybe.
Maybe bulbitis. Hey, that would be kind of interesting.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it could be.
Well, I went to Aquashella yesterday, and man, that is a blast.
I'll bet. Yeah, I did the Aquashella in Orlando this year, and this year. Really enjoyed it. I'm going to do it again next year. But the Texas, that's the big one. That's the biggest ball.
It truly was big. There was a lot of people there.
Tam Shepard is saying use unscented dental floss. That's a really good idea because it won't deteriorate quite as quickly.
Good idea. I have some that I've done. I have a moss green fishing line that blends in really good. And,
who was it? Craig is saying, watch the fishing line. Fish can get stuck in it. I've never had that happen, but it's good advice to be careful when you do it, that you make sure it's tight enough that fish can't slip under it and get trapped, because it could act as a trap. That is the way gill nets work, after all.
Yep, sure is.
Yeah. Try not to use Dube saying he tries not to use glue at all. It leaves white marks and never go away. Try tying it with cotton. Yeah, the cotton thread works because it'll deteriorate. I've always used fishing line. I kind of like green fishing line. How do you measure conductivity? Sunset Jen wants to ask. Is it electrical current from heater and filter? No, it's not. Conductivity has to do with the ability of the water. Who is this? ADHD is here. The ability of the water to conduct electricity. So salt water has higher conductivity than fresh water. Let's get ADHD up here. Hi there.
Hello, I'm here again. I wanted to give Crown Tail Half Moon some help with her brine shrimp. I'm not an expert though, so I just wanted to show her what basically I do. Can you guys see the tiny little brine shrimps?
Yeah, we can see them.
Yeah, they just hatched. I used the San Francisco Bay. They just hatched like 2 days ago, and we were talking about like how to feed them or like what to feed them, and I was gonna show this spirulina. This is a blue-green algae powder, but it's dead. It's not like alive. The way I do it is I just get like a little bit on my finger like this, and then just do just enough to like make the water cloudy. And then when the water clears up, then you know you have to feed it again. Like just enough to change the color of the water, and that's what I do. And I'm not an expert because my first culture that I collected from the salt lake crashed. But I mean, this one's been going for 2 days now. But I had a huge die-off. A bunch of them died. You can see all that orange stuff on the bottom is, I'm guessing, the dead ones that hatched. So I don't know what's wrong with my water. I'm using this stuff. My friend that has saltwater tanks said that my KH was high. So that's why I put the plant in, hoping that it would absorb some of the stuff that might be too high. I don't know. I need to add sand to this, like a deeper sand. But I don't really know. I just wanted to show like my little tank, and hopefully that's enough to help. Or I don't know if Hikari first bites would be small enough. Maybe it is. I mean, probably is. But also, people feed this stuff.
Emily,
Yeah.
you have air in that tank with the brine shrimp? You have an air stone?
Oh yeah. So that's another thing I wanted to mention. You don't want to have flow that's too high though with them, because if you swirl them all around, they'll use all their energy, and then they become less nutritious for your other fish. You
The
can see,
reason you're getting die off because you don't have enough air in there.
should I put it up higher than this?
Well, I don't even. Yeah, oh, definitely. Yeah, it's
Okay,
not near.
hold on.
Don't worry about swirling them around. They swirl around normally.
I don't want to hurt them.
You're not gonna. You're gonna keep them alive.
You know, can you see that little
Barely.
worm in there? There's a worm too. It's up at the top. Oh, it stopped wiggling now. There
How
it goes.
big?
It wiggles. You see a worm?
Oh, yeah, I see it.
What type of worm is that? It's got to be a saltwater worm. I got it from
Yeah.
the Salt Lake. Okay, more than this?
Yes, more than that.
Well, someone
want
said
pretty
that you don't want
low.
to keep the light on for.
What?
Okay.
You want a
Someone
high
said that
flow.
you don't want to keep the. Okay, high flow? That's the
Yeah,
opposite of
that's
what I read.
You do want to. The reason you got die off is because there's not enough oxygen in the water.
Okay,
So
we'll try it like
you I
this.
won't hurt a thing. That's probably not enough. Kick it up
Oh,
good.
Yeah,
I'm
but I
scared.
would too. I'd have it really flowing.
I'm
Yeah,
scared.
don't be. It'll be fine. You're not going to
Okay.
hurt them. They normally move around. They're not swimming. They're being floated around. They only
Oh.
eat what's in front of their nose. They don't chase food.
See, it makes sense now, I guess, but the person, I guess I watched a video that said you don't want to like disturb them too much because then they lose their energy. They use all their energy and then they're less nutritious. Like if you leave the light on for too long, they'll chase the light and then they're not as nutritious to feed them to your
And
other fish because they're using their energy.
let me explain something. In the first 8 hours, the brine shrimp does not have a mouth. It cannot eat. It
Okay.
uses all of its energy to create new shell and new body parts so that when it sheds, it then has a mouth, and that's when it starts eating. At that point, it has lost 80% of its food value. So at that
Right.
point, it needs to start eating. So the spirulina is perfect food for them. And you used it appropriately. That's really good. They will feed on what's in front of them. They don't chase their food. They simply filter the water that they're in, that's surrounding them. So swirling around makes no difference at all. They are not fighting the current.
That reminds me of this one. It's called Microvert Invertebrate Food for Fine Filter Feeders, and it's a saltwater food for like corals, I guess, eat this.
Yeah, that's fine. Right. That's fine.
Are you keeping this as pets, or are you going to feed these to other fish?
Both. I want to keep it as like a living culture, so I want to keep them in here forever.
Okay,
But
then you're gonna want to winnow it down to maybe 100 or 200. You've got thousands now.
yeah, I fed a bunch yesterday. I was gonna feed again today and just take some.
Yeah, siphon the dead ones off the bottom and feed them.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. They'll eat the dead ones off the bottom then?
You betcha. So long as they're not rotten, and they're not rotten yet, or they be moldy.
Yeah, they're not. They just died yesterday because that huge orange spot wasn't there yesterday, and now it is.
Here's another product, same kind of stuff. It's called Reef Roids.
Reef Roids.
Yeah, and it's a very fine powder. Much like
Everyone feeds this, but someone says the yeast is not as nutritionally for the shrimp.
Yeast is perfect if you do yeast and spirulina. The very first ones that were raised in yeast.
Oh,
It's live culture.
makes sense. Well, that's all I wanted to say was to help answer some of Crown Tail Half Moon's questions. Hopefully it was helpful. I hope I can get this culture going and stable.
It'll be fun. You'll enjoy it.
Okay, see you next time.
Take care. Okay. Bye for now. All righty. That was interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah. I love that plant.
Thank you, sir.
I've never seen it. It's really nice.
Yeah. I would have bought several of them if they had them. They had just the one there, and couldn't tell me what it was.
I'm going to be looking for it. Roman wants to know when the next live stream is. It'll be Wednesday, Roman. I've got a couple of Europeans and Aussies who are disappointed that I'm not doing the Monday morning stream. The problem is just more than I can handle with the other stuff I'm doing. I will continue to do the Wednesday stream and the Friday and Sunday. So I'm at 3 days a week for now. It may pick up. I may do something more. What I need to see is that it's growing. If it starts to grow, then I'll do more.
Yeah, I think with the winter time coming along, it'll pick up again.
I hope so. The Friday evening is pretty good. I've been real pleased with that. I'm hitting close to 100, and I've got Shelby of Fishy Business coming in as co-host. So I'm really excited about that.
I got to meet Fishy Biz yesterday.
Did you really?
Very big guy, man. That dude. I'm a pretty big guy myself.
This is a woman.
Oh.
Who's in Pennsylvania. Somebody else.
Okay. Well, I met Mr. Drew yesterday. Super cool guy.
Nice.
Met Joey, King of Do It Yourself.
There you go.
Simply Better. I got to meet them all yesterday. I was starstruck. It was fun.
Oh, wow. That's neat. Yeah, I really ought to go. That's the biggest one.
That's the only person I was expecting to see was you, Father Fish, and it wasn't the same without you.
Wasn't there, was it? Really? I should do it next year if I'm still around. Thank you, ADHD, Crown Tail Half Moon. Great. All right, we are way over. I'm just kind of hanging out here for a while, but I think we'll call it a day. Thanks for coming up, 3G.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. Take care. All right. Tell you what, let me, any other questions here? Don't see any. Yeah. A brine shrimp culture, once you feed them, after to 12 hours after they're hatched, you have to feed them. If you don't, they die. If you feed them, then they'll keep going, but they're going to winnow down. You're going to get down to the point where you will have a few hundred, and then that'll be a stable culture. You'll be able to maintain it as a stable culture. If you can get good light on it to get green water, that'll make it better. My daughter, when she was 6 years old, took a little tank into school, set it up on the window ledge with brine chip in it. She kept the culture going in that the entire school year for like 7 months straight. It was, and she was just a little kid, but did it with sunlight creating green water. So you want to leave that light on all the time. If you can get green water going, that'll be better than the spirulina. All right, boys and girls, let me see if I still have the, I don't, it's gone. It's gone, where did it go? I'll get it back. Get the Halloween music back. Let me get it. Glory, thank you all for coming in. Nice to have you here. I'll be back. Today is Sunday. Be back Wednesday at 9 o'clock in the morning. Wednesday at 9. Let's see. Where is it? Right there. Got it. All right.
Here's Johnny.
Jellyfish.
Here's Johnny.